Good afternoon and welcome to the Police Recreation Grounds for this ACB Sir Richie Richardson first semi-final between Police and Mahaiko. Sorry for the delay, but Mahaiko were just getting themselves organized, which they are now, and we can tell you that Police have won the toss and have elected to bowl first. So Mahaiko will be, the two openers will be coming out very shortly to get this very important match underway in the ACB Sir Richie Richardson Parish League semi-final match on a bright and breezy day here in Antigua. Hope everybody is well. My name is Terry Laraji, and we're just waiting to get underway. We'll see if Mahaiko can throw down a challenge to the number one team so far this season in Police, taken all by storm, and they'll be looking to continue that trend this afternoon. Ground and more importantly the pitch looks in excellent condition, so we should be moments away from a very interesting battle here at Police Recreation Grounds. If you're in Antigua and Barbuda, come on down, watch and support some exciting local cricket. If not, you can follow us on Parish League Facebook, Instagram and YouTube platforms, as well as CTV Channel 8 for all your local sporting actions. Community Network, Community Sports Network CNN, bringing you all the live action. As Police in their blue and black outfits are just taking the field, and the two openers for Mahaiko in looks like Stephen Payne and Bassiano Joseph. So Payne and Joseph will be opening the innings for Mahaiko. The players just make their way out onto the field. And at the moment, it's just me, myself and I on the commentary for this afternoon. So hopefully we can bring you some entertaining day's play. The game, because of the delay, is reduced to 30 overs a side. So reduced from the original 35 overs. Both teams in Police and Mahaiko will be playing 30 overs a side this afternoon. Just about to get underway. As I say, Payne and Joseph will be opening the innings for Mahaiko, and they'll be fielding 10 men today. That was the reason for the delay. They were struggling to make up the numbers, but thankfully they have now for this important match, first semi-final, so you can move on to the final next week. Joseph and Payne are the two opening batsmen. Or if you want to be politically correct, batters these days, isn't it? And it looks, who's opening the ball here? James Cornelius will be opening the bowling for Police. He'll be opening the bowling from the Factory Road end of the ground. We'll be starting with a slip, short extra cover, point cover, mid-off to the left-hander, as in comes Cornelius now for the first delivery, tossed high, stroke to short extra cover, and there is no run. Cornelius, couple of steps up to the wicket into left-hander who plays that quietly. They hesitate but take a single to backward square leg to get Mahaiko underway. So they'll 1 without loss in the first over. Field just changing over for the right-handed batsman. Similar field, bringing the sweeper up from the cover point boundary into the 30-yard circle, and pushing the mid-wicket back out onto the boundary. Cornelius up to the wicket now, and that one stroked out onto the offside to backward point, and there is no run. Tidy start this by Cornelius. It's tossed up and stroked straight back to the bowler, who does his own fielding. Of course, this police team gone through undefeated this season. Very strong outfit. That peels off the outer portion of the bat to cover for another single. So the score goes up by 1-2. 2 without loss in the first over. Both batsmen on 1. Pick up the number. Who's on the left-hander is Payne. So Fane just strokes that out onto the offside to complete the first over. So after 1 over here, the semi-final between the police team and Mahaiko. Mahaiko, after being sent in, 2 without loss. A good start there by Cornelius, keeping it nice and tight, ball into his field. These two Mahaiko boys in Fane and Joseph. Left and right hand combination, and they'll realize the importance of a good start here in this ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League semi-final clash in the Sir Richie Richardson competition. And taking up the attack from the pavilion end will be Malik Gerald. He will be bowling to the right hand Joseph. Both batsmen on 1. Looks like Gerald is gonna start very attacking here with 3 slips, a gully, point, short extra cover, mid off, mid on, backward square leg, just going a bit finer. As Gerald from the commentary box or pavilion end of the ground is into Joseph, and that's a full toss, stroked beautifully through the cover field into the boundary. 4-4, nice shot there by Joseph. First boundary of Mahaiko innings. Full pitch ball there by Gerald, and given the treatment there by Joseph. So the score moves up by 4, 6 without loss. We're in over number 2. Loosener there by Gerald. You realize be aiming in on or around about that off stump line with the 3 slips and the gully, waiting for the edges. That one big drive outside the off stump, another full pitch delivery. Missed out on that occasion did Joseph. Goes through to wicket keeper in Captain Merlin. There's no run. A quiet start here so far for Mahaiko as they look to put a challenging total on the board for this very strong police outfit. As Gerald comes up to the wicket now. This delivery keeps a little low. Well watched there by Joseph. Lets it go outside the off stump. Merlin takes it and there is no run. Alright. Chat going on amongst the police boys. Merlin gets his troops going. Gerald in again to Joseph. And to this delivery is turned nicely into the mid-wicket region, and they take a very comfortable single. Takes the score up to 7. 7 without loss. And we're in over number 2. Mahaiko, of course, being sent in after Murlen won the toss for Police. And to the left-handed fein, the same field, still with 3 slips and a gully, rather deep gully. And that one is wide of the off stump and left by fein. Police, of course, looking for early breakthrough here to put some pressure on Mahaiko top order and set the scene for the day. Of course, the 2 openers will have other ideas for Mahaiko. As Gerald round the wicket to the left-handed fein, and this ball out pitched up and stroked beautifully through the cover region. The chase on for the fieldsmen, but they won't make it. 4 more. Nice stroke there by fein, his first boundary. And Mahaiko move to 11 without loss. And that completes the second over. So after 2 overs, Mahaiko, after being sent in, 11 without loss. A nice positive start there by the 2 Mahaiko batsmen. A bit of a loose opening over there by Malik Gerald, gave away the 2 boundaries. Of course, he was a bit full through the entire over, really. So he'll be looking to drag his length back a bit. As Cornelius will continue from the Factory Road end of the ground. He's bowling to fein and beats him outside the off stump, playing back to a ball that possibly could have come forward to. Goes through to keeper Murlen, and there is no run. Cornelius in again, and that one leading edges, tried to work that onto the onside, took the leading edge but fell well short in front of the short extra cover. Be careful trying to read the spin off the pitch here. That one, he goes for the sweep. It's a huge appeal, and it's bowled him. So, first breakthrough for Police. Stump, was it? Good bit of work there by Captain Merlin, tossed up by Cornelius. And was fein that went? Joseph trying to sweep that one and missed the ball completely, and some sharp work there by Derek Merlin. He'd be pleased with that. Police grabbed their first wicket in the 3rd over with the score on 11. So 11-4-1. Mahaiko. Police strike early. Joseph stumped Merlin, bowled Cornelius, and he made 6. So he'd be disappointed though. The previous delivery, he should have been forward when he was back, caught the leading edge, and like that delivery was playing on his mind a bit. He tried to sweep the ball but did not make contact. New batsman is Hallinger. He'll join fein out in the middle. Police, as they should, look very confident outfit. A terrific season thus far. They'll be looking to add this, the Sir Richie Richardson trophy to their cabinet. Of course, they took out the Dave Joseph 35 overs competition earlier in the season. Well, they really are setting the tone in the Parish League this year as the team to beat, as Cornelius comes into Hallinger, and Hallinger gets the bottom edge as he came across there. Luckily for him, didn't go back onto his stumps. Marley Hallinger waits for Cornelius. Open stance. He's in now. No foot movement. Slashed it straight to Slip, who juggled it, and it popped out. Big chance there for Cornelius to pick up his second. Unfortunately, Slip fielder couldn't hold on. Who's it, Slip? Ask my trusting who? Barnard. He should have caught that. Driven too short, extra cover by Hallinger, and no run. End of a successful over there for Cornelius, picking up the wicket of Joseph, stumped by Merlin. And after 3 overs, Mahaiko, after being sent in, 11 for 1. Of course, could have been worse for Mahaiko, as Hallinger chance off the last delivery of the over. Trying to force it off the back foot. Unfortunately, it was dropped by Barnard there at first slip, as Gerald looks to come around the wicket once again. 2 slips and a gully on this occasion into Fane. And this delivery, Fane is stroking that nicely, but straight to cover, and there's no run. Looking to come forward to the bowler is Fane. Hallinger's mistake in the previous over when he was dropped at slip. No foot movement whatsoever, just swung the bat at it. Foolish delivery. As Gerald at the top of his mark. In once again around the wicket to Fane. This delivery trying to pull that through mid-wicket region. Hits the bottom of the bat, just rolls harmlessly. Fortunate for the batsman. Into the offside, and there is no run. No Police, they got the early breakthrough. They're keeping things tight at the moment. 11 for 1, and we're in over number 4. As Gerald in again, and that one beats Hallinger, just fishing for that outside the off stump. Good line there by Gerald. Looking just to pitch that particular delivery up a little with the 2 slips and the gully in place, waiting for the edge. The sun just disappears momentarily here at Police. Gerald in again, and that one a bit of bounce that time, but too wide outside the off stump to cause any major dramas for Fane, who just lets it go through to Merlin, and there is no run. Police very vocal in the crowd and on the field. Home team, of course. Gerald up to Fane, and this one he pulls that, but straight to square leg. It's just forward in front of the umpire there, and there's no run. Couple of shorter deliveries by Gerald, just testing the batsman. He doesn't really have no real pace though. True medium pacer. He's up to the wicket again, and that one pure for LBW, but looked like it was going down leg. Umpire Paget has the same opinion. Over called. So at the end of 4 overs, that was a maiden, I think, for Gerald. The score remains on 11 for 1, and that's after Police won the toss here at the Police Recreation Grounds and inserted Mahaiko. We're playing a player short. That was why we had the delay for about an hour before the game could start while they searched the country for some players. Be Hallinger facing Cornelius. Again, little footwork there by Cornelius, trying to read the spin off the pitch. Pull that through the mid-wicket region, but gets the bottom part of the bat. Hits it straight back to the bowler. No run. Score remains at 11 for 1. We're in over number 5. Cornelius again in, and that's heaved over the cover region, running out to the boundary, and he'll take 4 for that. So Hallinger gets his first boundary, and Mahaiko move on to 15 for 1. We're in over number 5. Of course, the semi-final being reduced to 30 overs aside due to the late start. First semi-final of the ACB Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. Just dropping the cover fielder just outside the 30-yard circle because of that shot, and he tried the shot again, and this time doesn't make contact through to Moreland. Very close to the outside edge once again. Barnard still in slip. Of course, he dropped Hallinger in the previous over. Again, trying to force it through point off the back foot. Doesn't make contact. Lack of footwork here by Hallinger is getting him in trouble with the spin of Cornelius, and that one has been dropped again, was it? Yes, I think there might have been an edge there and dropped by Moreland this time. Behind the stumps. It was appealed for a stumping as well, but not out. So they've had their chances, Police, to have this Mahaiko team in all sorts. Failing to hold on to their chances thus far, but they have picked up the 1 wicket. 15 for 1. We're in over number 5. Hallinger waits for Cornelius again, and Cornelius is into him now, and that one tossed up again and again, peels off the outside edge but flies wide of Barnard there at slip. So chase on for Chiney down towards the boundary. They come back for the third and just get in. So 3 more to Hallinger, 3 more to Mahaiko, and at the end of 5 overs, the score is 18 for 1 in this semi-final clash. So Hallinger got away with a couple of streaky shots off the outside edge of the bat. Couple of drop chances as well. But he survives, and that's all that matters as far as Mahaiko is concerned, as they look to put a challenging score on the board for this very strong Police unit to chase down, as Alec Gerald will continue from the commentary box end. Still persisting with the 2 slips. Hallinger will be on strike. So just taking the mid-wicket into short extra cover region. So 2 slips, gully, point, or backward point, point, extra cover, mid-off on the offside as Gerald now up to the wicket into Hallinger. Hallinger again, very little feet movement, just swinging through the line of the ball. Missing completely through to Moreland, and there is no run. And on the onside we just have the 2 fieldsmen here, a backward square leg who's inside the circle, and also the mid-on as Gerald up to Hallinger, and Hallinger trying to force that through the offside. Doesn't make good contact, can't beat the field, and there's no run. The score remains on 18 for 1. We're in over number 6. Gerald again. It's up to the wicket now. To this delivery. Hallinger again stepping away from the ball, trying to give himself room. Missed everything, but almost lost his leg stump. He really not moving into the line of the ball here, Hallinger. Police will know that they're in with a chance, but of course they put him down twice already. And you know what they say, catches win matches. So we'll see if that hurts Police. And again, just swinging like a rusty gate, really, and not making any contact. Here is Hallinger. He's backing away from the ball, trying to give himself room, but because he's not in line, he's not making contact. So not exactly what Mahaiko wanted. 18 for 1 in over number 6. Police looking for their second breakthrough. Gerald in again to Hallinger, to this delivery. Followed the feet movement, went through the batsman. Murlin got a glove on it, so it'll pull up just inside the fine leg boundary. But once again, excellent running. They come back for the third. So 3 byes to Mahaiko, takes them on to 21 for 1. Gerald just following. He knew Hallinger was going to back away. He followed him with the ball, but it beat Hallinger. Flew through to Murlin, who did well to get a glove on it. Brings the left-handed Fane back on strike. Oh, Gerald, it's a field swap, so he remains with 2 slips and a gully. He coming around the wicket to the left-hander. He's up to the wicket now, into this delivery. Turned nicely by Fane for a single on the onside, and that completes the over. So after 6 overs in the ACB Parish League Sir Richie Richardson semi-final, first semi-final between Police and Mahaiko. Mahaiko, after being asked to bat first, 22 for 1 after 6 overs. Of course, just to remind you, the match has been reduced to 30 overs aside due to a late start here. So they have 30 overs to try and at least bat through the 30 overs. They give themselves every possibility of setting Police a challenging total, as Cornelius looks to continue from the Factory Road end, and he'll be balling to the left-handed Fane, who uses his feet nicely. Hits it up to mid-off, who fumbles the ball. An easy single is turned into 2, and if they had a run harder, could have even possibly gone in for the third run there. But 2 more to the score takes them up to 24 for 1. We're in over number 7. It was a big appeal by Cornelius. Not out, says the umpire, and they sneak a leg by. It's tossed up nicely, but Fane did come well forward to that ball. Took the leg by, so 25 for 1 in over number 7. And of course, Parish League sponsored brilliantly for 43 years by ACB Caribbean Bank. I'd like to thank them for their services, and this another chance goes a begging. That ball was driven straight to a short extra cover fielder there off the bat of Hallinger, and that's his third life. Simple catch, went to grass. So Moreland will not be happy about his Police team at the moment. Third drop catch, and we're only in number 7, and that one's peeled off the outside edge, just wide of the dive and slip fielder there, rolling down to the third man boundary. Will be picked up, but not before 3 more are added to the score, which goes up to 28. 29 for one in over number 7, but police won't be happy with these dropped chances. Good afternoon. So, second scorer joins us. What would we do without these ladies from police? Or what would I do? Definitely, because I wouldn't know what the score was. And this time he's dropped it again. Another dolly to the extra cover fieldsman who totally misjudged that, wasn't moving in further. Shadrach, is it out there? He should know better with all his experience. Well, unfortunately, he's grasped another one. So that's 2 in this over from Shadrach himself. And that is the fourth chance has gone down, and fourth chance to Hallinger. So he will think it's his birthday and Christmas all rolled into one. But the over, a rather eventful over, comes to an end with a score on 30 for 1. So we've had 7 overs here at the Mahaiko innings, and they are 30 for 1. Will they be able to make police pay for these drop catches? 4 catches gone down already in the first 7 overs of the Mahaiko innings. So they picked up the 1 wicket. They could have realistically had half the side out by now. It will be Malik Gerald who will continue from the pavilion or commentary box end here, Police Recreation Grounds, and he'd be bowling to Lenja, who this time moves the front foot forward inside the line of the ball and plays it straight back down the pitch, and there's no run. A lot more advisable playing like that than the lack of foot movement so far has got him in trouble. But of course police haven't taken the chances that have been presented to them, and that's cracked nicely by Hallinger through the cover region out towards the rope. It will be hauled back, and again now they decide for the third after a little hesitation, but the throw was short, so they get home comfortably. So 3 more to the total. Total moves up to 33 for 1, and we're in over number 8. As I say, ACB Caribbean Bank, fantastic sponsors. They're sponsored for over 43 years. Parish League, where many a champion has learnt their craft and gone on to bigger and better things of West Indies cricket. We thank them very, very much. As that ball beats Fane outside the off stump. Gerald coming back over the wicket to the left-hander, just drawing him across his crease. Ball flew through to Murlin, and there is no run. Gerald in again over the wicket to Fane, who strokes that nicely, but straight to Nichols there at mid-off, and there is no run. Police still searching for this second breakthrough. They've had their chances. Fane, this one, pulling it nicely. Beautiful shot through the mid-wicket region into the rope, 4 runs. Shot of the day so far there by Stephen Fane. Welcome boundary there for Mahaiko. Mahaiko moves on to 37 for 1. We're in over number 8. Discussions between captain and his team, the field placings. Is he going to make a change? He still has the 2 slips in the gully. Backward point for the left-hander. Is he going to strengthen the onside? Not by the look of it. He just has the two fielders on the onside. That's a square leg and a mid-wicket. Both inside the circle, of course. So Gerald will be mindful. He doesn't want to get too short like he did with the previous delivery. And that one's ill-directed, wide down leg side. Signalled by the umpire. Score moves up to 40 for 1 in over number 8. Gerald again into the left-handed fein. This delivery, full pitch delivery, missed out there. And wide called. A bit unfortunate for the bowler. Wide called by umpire Paget. Moves the score on to what? 41? 39 for 1 in over number 8. Gerald in again to fein, and fein stroking it in the air, just drops short of the cover fielder there, dives forward and stops the ball, prevents any run, but again going the aerial route and getting away with that one. So that brings the over to an end. So after 8 overs in this ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League, so Richie Richardson semi-final between Police and Mahaiko. Mahaiko, after being asked to bat first, are 39 for 1. And that's after 8 overs. In a match that's been reduced to 30 overs aside due to a delayed start. And looks like we're going to have a bowling change from the Factory Road end. Rashawn Barnard will be... No? Yeah. Boston will be coming on to bowl. Arundel Boston will be coming on from the factory end. We thought it might have been an Ashawn Barnard, who was one of the culprits who dropped Hallinger early in his innings. Been dropped a few times though, twice by Shadrock and once by Muralin, Captain Muralin as well. So he's living a charmed life at the moment. Mahaiko will be hoping that life continues. To this they brought in a second slip, or you could say a gully to the spin of Boston. And that's tossed high up. He meets it on the full, cracks it over the bowler's head, and the bounce took it over the mid-off as well into the boundary 4-4. So 4 more to the total. Total moves on to 43. 43 for 1, and we're in over number 9. So a fortuitous bounce there by Hallinger to get it. It bounced straight over the mid-off fielder there. It's Boston in again, and that one is knocked in the air but over the short extra cover. It's running downhill out towards the rope. Will be called back, and they're slack running there. They started off running very well, these two, but in the last couple of overs, like the heat has got to them, and they're just ambling through for 2 there, which should have really been 3. However, the score goes up to 45. Yes, 45 for 1, and we're in over number 9. And they're taking the short gully or second slip out, putting him in a short extra cover position and moving the cover fieldsman a little back, and that's driven powerfully and straight as a die into the boundary for 4. Good shot that by Hallinger. 4 more to him and 4 more to the total, which moves on to 49 for 1 in over number 9. So Mahaiko will be very happy with the start they've got thus far. Of course, they've been helped with some poor fielding by the police team, who drop catches gone a begging. But even so, 49 on the board in over number 9, with just 1 wicket down so far. How will police respond as Boston in again, and that one quicker, flatter delivery. Looking to cut. Was Hallinger too close to him? Through to Moreland and no run. Need a breakthrough here. Do police. Hallinger again looking to attack. Peels off the outside edge and flies down towards the third man boundary into the rope for another 4. Brings up the 50 for Mahaiko in over number 9. 53 for 1. And Hallinger looks like he's going to continue the way he's played since he's walked out there and take advantage of the lives he's been getting as Boston looks to come around the wicket now to the right-hander. The slip goes out to a short third man position inside the circle. They're dropping everyone back slightly from where the balls have landed off the bat of Hallinger, who pulls away there. There's something bothering. I think the field is still being adjusted. Backward point there, and Nichols was just getting back into his position. Boston in now, and it's heaved again, and this time taken, heaved straight to mid-wicket, who had to run round a bit to his right, but took it very comfortably. Police will be happy with that. So after many chances, Hallinger goes. The score's on 53 as Police pick up their second wicket. It was bowled by Boston and caught by Malik Gerald. So Hallinger goes for Hallinger goes for 27. Caught Gerald, bowled Boston for 27. Mahaiko lose their second wicket after being sent in. They're 53 for 2. And we're in the 9th over. So a good wicket that to pick up by Police. They'd be happy to see the back of Hallinger, but as I say, he had 3 or 4 chances there of pretty simple catches going down behind the wicket and in the cover region, but this time it was well judged. Gerald just had to move around a few steps at the short mid-wicket region and was mishit by Hallinger, so he took it well. So Hallinger is gone, 53 for 2 Mahaiko, and in walks Ian Tittle, the experienced Ian Tittle, captain of this side, of course. And he will play as we know Ian plays. Make sure the scoreboard keeps ticking round. You got the opportunity to spend some time in the middle with these young guys he's got in the team. You learn a hell of a lot from Ian Tittle. So he strides out to the middle here at the Police Recreation Grounds. Just pick up our major sponsors, of course, ACB Caribbean Bank. Keeps Parish League going, and credit to Mark Charles, Taddy Arundel and the boys. Community Sports Network, CNN, where you can follow all your live local sporting action on CTV Channel 8. And of course you can follow us also on Parish League platforms of Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. Make sure you're not missing any of the action. Merlin rallying his troops, just words of encouragement. I'm sure he'd be disappointed with the dropped catches, but now that he's picked up his second, they're confident, this police team, and as they should be. The way they've been going all season, they'll be looking to run through this Mahaiko side, but of course Ian Tittle and his boys will have other ideas. Who's bowling now? Barnard is bowling this time. So Nashawn Barnard, left arm spin from the commentary box end, and he'll be bowling to Fane. 53 for 2. Start of over number 10. That's tossed up by Barnard and played quietly out into the short extra cover region by Fane, and there's no run. Short extra cover and short mid wicket. As the tall Barnard gets a bit of bounce there outside off stump. Well watched, well judged by Fane, who just lets it go through to keeper Merlin. 53 for 2. So over number 10 uses his feet this time. But well bowled there by Barnard. Saw him coming. Plays it quietly into the offside. Most police looking to make the final after being victorious and taking out the Dave Joseph title earlier in the year. Tossed up again by Barnard and stroked firmly up to Nichols at mid-off. One more to Fane. Score moves on to 54 for 2. Mahaiko 54 for 2 in over number 10. And just a reminder, the game has been reduced to 30 overs a side. Two left-handers out there now, as Tittle just taking guard, getting ready to face his first ball. So two left-handers at the crease and a left-arm bowler. His lefties taking over the world. Barnard into Tittle, who plays that nicely into the cover region. There is no run. Score remains 54 for 2. We're in over number 10. Barnard in again, and nice flight on that delivery. Stroke back up the pitch by Tittle, and there is no run, and that completes the over. So we've had 10 overs with the Mahaiko innings, and after 10 overs they are 54 for 2 in this ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson first semi-final match between the dominant police side and Mahaiko here at Police Recreation Grounds in a sunlit Antigua. Beautiful Saturday afternoon if you're around St. John's, or traffic to and fro up Factory Road. Pass by and come and see some exciting local cricket as Boston will continue to Fane, who strokes that firmly to the short mid-wicket, who fumbles and then allows the single. 55 for 2 in over number 11. Boston is persisting with his slip. He'll be bowling to the veteran himself, Ian Tittle. And that delivery, full delivery, punch back by Tittle to the bowler, who does his own fielding. No run. Boston in again to Tittle, and one stroke firmly to short mid-wicket. Again, no run, so he's bowling to his field, doing a good job here, Boston. And this delivery is short down leg, turn around the corner by Tittle. He wanted the single, but sent back by his partner. Good fielding there by Nichols. Short backward square leg. Boston in again to Tittle, and ball played in defence by Tittle, back to the bowler, no run. 55 for 2, we're in over number 11. Semi-final clash, Police against Mahaiko. And again, forward in defence. Good ball in there by Boston. Completes the over, just a 1 run off it, so 55 for 2. And we've had 11 overs here at the Police Recreation Grounds. Of course, match reduced to 30 overs aside due to a delayed start. So at 55 for 2, and both teams would be reasonably happy. I think Mahaiko, though, would be the happier team at the moment. They look to build a challenging total as left hand Barnard continues from this the pavilion end. Fane, he's been there from the start. Button with the very experienced Tittle now. He uses his feet again, lost that over the short extra cover. Sweeper on the boundary will do the fielding, and they take one. Score moves up to 55, 56 for 2. We're in over number 12. Tittle comes on strike to Barnard, and that one tossed up as appeal for caught behind, not out, says the umpire. Half-hearted appeal there by Moreland, but he was beaten in a flight that time, Tittle, to adjust. Barnard again tosses it up nicely, and it's played softly backward of point into the offside, and they take a single. 57 for 2 in over number 12. Haiko being asked to bat first after Police won the toss in this semi-final clash. Barnard again, this time into Fane, and Fane is stroking that up to mid-off where Nichols does the fielding, and there's no run. So Police keeping it tight. Haiko just pick up as many as possible, as that one little airily there, just wide of the short mid-wicket to mid-on, who's inside the circle for a single to complete the over. So at the end of 12 overs, Mahaiko are 58 for 2. That's after being sent in. And as I say, the match has been reduced to 30 overs aside. So at 58 for 2, still even Stevens, you'd have to say, at this stage. Semi-final clash. It's the second semi-final of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition will be played tomorrow between Freetown and Newfield, and that will be at Freetown grounds. Change of bowler again. Was still Boston. So Boston coming into Fane, and that one full delivery again catches the inner portion of the bat and rolls out to mid-wicket for another single. So 59 for 2. We're in over number 13. Police will want a couple of wickets here, though, just to keep Mahaiko in check. Boston into Tittle, and Tittle is belting that high, way over the mid-on fielder who was inside the circle. One bounce over the rope, 4 runs. Good shot that by Tittle. An authoritative shot. And that moves on the score to 63 for 2 in over number 12. And that was sending a statement to Boston, though. You can't keep tossing them up, or I'll come after you. So Moreland's making the adjustment in the field. He's leaving the mid-on on the boundary, so he's now got a long on and a long off, and also sweeper on the deep mid-wicket boundary. And he's just pushed his cover fielder out of the circle, 3/4 of the way to the boundary rope, as that ball's played quietly to the short extra cover by Tittle, and there's no run. 63 for 2 in over number 13. Boston coming around the wicket now to the left-hander. He's back in defence, and there is no run. Even contest on our hands at this stage. More important semi-final match as Boston round the wicket again. Tittle looking to cut that ball. Just kept a little low, maybe a bit close to him. Through to keeper Moreland. Boston turns round the wicket to Tittle. Forward in defence, peels off the outer portion of the bats, and they get a single to backward point to complete the over. So at the end of 13 overs, Mahaiko, after being asked to bat first, are 64 for 2. So 64 for 2 after 13 overs. And, that calls for consideration by Moreland and his police boys. They want to keep taking wickets, keep restricting Mahaiko as best as they can. Because Mahaiko playing 1 player short. They're playing with 10 men today. They would have that in the back of their mind, that they need steady partnerships right through this innings to build something challenging for the police team. Of course, Barnard will continue from the commentary box end. He'll be bowling to Tittle, and to this delivery, Tittle, shorter delivery, pulled through the mid-wicket region, and coming around the boundary is the sweeper to restrict the fielding, to restrict the scoring, I should say, to 2. So 2 more to Tittle and 2 more to the total. Moves Mahaiko up to 66 for 2. Barnard just dropping a bit short on that occasion. He's in again to Tittle, and that one again a bit short. He's able to go on the back foot. They take a quick single, and a fumble there by Moreland. Whoa! And by his reaction, Fane might have been short. They hesitated again. Was just slapped really into the cover region by Tittle, and they decided, yes, they would go for the single. The ball was thrown to the keeper's end, which the end Fane was running, but he fumbled and broke the stumps without the ball. So they've had their issues in the field, police, today. That is for sure. They dropped 4 catches and now missed a run-out chance. I'd be caught taking this Mahaiko team a bit cheap. But Fane survives. Set again. He waits for Barnard. This ball tossed very high. Meets it on a full, but could get no power behind it. Slapped it, or pulled it straight to the backward square leg fielder. Cornelius, I think, and there's no run. Barnard That's a better delivery. Respected there by Fane, who's forward in defence. Knocks it back up the pitch. So the score is 67 for 2. We're in over number 14. Barnard tosses it up again, and that's chipped just to the left of the short mid-wicket fieldsman, and they take one and be happy with that. And again, aerial route by the batsman, not really getting to the pitch of the ball. Thankfully for him, it fell wide of the fielder. So one more, 68 for 2. As Tittle waits for Barnard. This ball is quicker, flatter, huge appeal for caught behind. The umpire is unmoved in Paget and not out. Well, Moreland had already reached in celebration at the bowler's end. The bowler had taken off East, but all in vain. Not out, says the umpire. And that completes the over. So police boys were extremely confident there. But the umpire has said not out. So after 14 overs, 68 for 2, as Boston continues from the Factory Road end around the wicket to Fane, who plays it quietly on the onside, and there is no run. The drama there, though, the police boys were absolutely convinced. Got an edge to the last ball of the previous over. At umpire not interested. Boston around the wicket to Fane. He's defending that out on the offside, and there is no run. Mahaiko will be thinking it's our lucky day if they can continue in this vein, keep wickets in hand. Who knows, they could post something that will challenge this police outfit, as Boston just pushes his slip a little wider, and Fane uses his feet but can't get any penetration behind that shot. Boston building the pressure. He brings the slip back into a more orthodox first slip position, and that one's hit a little better up to mid-on for a single, taking the score up to 69 for 2, and we're in over number 15. Boston staying round the wicket to Tittle. He's up to the wicket now. Flatter faster takes the edge again, but falls in front of Slip this time, who did well to get his body behind it, prevent any chance of a run being scored. That troubled Tittle. Now Tittle and Merlin just having a few quiet words. What are we doing after the match? I don't think so, but something like that. I think Merlin's still suggesting that got a little tickle on the last ball of the previous over. That one is cracked through the cover region forward of square by Tickle for a single, taking the score up to 70. Alright, we've had 15 overs, halfway through the Mahaiko innings here at the Police Recreation Grounds, and after being sent into bat, Mahaiko, after 15 overs, are 70 for 2. So they've got a foundation here, Mahaiko, thanks to opportunities going begging for Police to really launch themselves into something that could be challenging for police to chase down later this afternoon. At the moment, it will be Barnard. He'll be bowling to Tickle. Merlin Justin. He's long off to go a bit wider. That ball short and punched up to Nichols, that mid-off fielder by Tittle for another one. So 71 for 2. We're in over number 16. And now the long off and long on come back up inside the circle for Fane. Fane's been there since the start. Uses his feet nicely once again. Barnard bowling a reasonable spell here. Barnard in again to Fane, and that one little shorter rocks onto the back foot. Cracks it past. I don't think he's going to catch this. No, he's not. As Nichols, he basically accompanied it to the rope and over it. It was cracked past the short extra cover fielder there by Fane and was rolling all the way out towards the rope, and Nichols couldn't quite keep up with the pace. So 4 more to Fane, 4 more to the total. Total moves up to 75 for 2, and we're in over number 16. Barnard was not happy with that. This ball tosses it up a little higher. Dancing down the pitch is Fane. Doesn't mind using his feet, which is great to see. Barnard into Fane's delivery, almost yorks himself. Then they decide a late call for a single, but well called in the end by Tittle. Not picked up there at the short mid-wicket region. So they get one more, so 76. Yep, 76 for 2 in over number 16 of this Mahaiko innings. So police want a breakthrough here. I wouldn't say they're really under pressure at the moment, but they certainly wouldn't want this to fall away. Beaten again. He was forward, then he was back, was Tittle. Ball just outside the off stump, held its line really. Beat him through to keeper Merlin, who has a few more choice words to say to Tittle at the end of the over. And at the end of the over, Mahaiko are 76. Yeah, 76 for 2, and that's after 16 overs. Of course, as a reminder, the match has been reduced to 30 overs a side after a delayed start here at Police Recreation Grounds. So they've got 14 more overs. And their first priority would be to bat out those 14 overs. Police looking for wickets to try and contain them. As looks like we're going to have a bowling change from Factory Road end. Damon Valentine will be coming on to bowl from the Factory Road end. Bowling his spin, replacing Boston. And he's going to start around the wicket, bowling to 2 left-handers in Fane and Tittle, of course. His left arm himself, and that one stroke back past the bowler. Take a quick single to mid-on. Completed comfortably. Takes the score up to 77 for 2, and we're over number 17. So left-handed Valentine will stay over the wicket. to Tittle. And Tittle to this one is clean bowled. He went for the big hoik through the mid-wicket region. Didn't make contact, but it did make contact with his middle stump, which was licked out of the ground. So Tittle goes, and that was the breakthrough that police were searching for. They'd be happy with that. Third wicket goes down for Mahaiko with a score on 77. 77 for 3 as Tickle clean bowled by Valentine for 11. So Tickle bowled Valentine for 11. Mahaiko lose their third wicket with the score on 77. So there's 77 for 3 and we're in over number 17. Of course, the match reduced to 30 overs aside. An important breakthrough there for the police team as Mahaiko just getting a partnership going there between Tickle and Fane, who's been there since the start, Stephen Fane. And they've had their chances, but they're looking to cash in on the chances being offered up by police so far today. They'll be thinking to themselves that they can bat out these remaining 13 overs or so. You could hopefully set a dominant police, you have to say a dominant side in this season's ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League. That they've taken all by storm so far this season. So Mahaiko will be very, very wary of that. And so their main priority would be to bat out these overs. And they've still got plenty of wickets in hand thus far. If these two can see them through, say, the next 5 or 6 overs. So the new batsman is? Oh, it's half a shot. Bat pad. Carl Christopher is the new batsman. And he's facing a left arm spin of Damon Valentine. One wide outside the off stump. Faster, flatter delivery. Doesn't make connection and there's no run. Valentine in again, and that one he caught in two minds whether to come forward or come back. He does nothing in the end. Flies through to Moreland. A nervy start this by Christopher. This delivery again beaten outside the off stump. Good over that by Valentine. Picked up the wicket of Tickle. And at the end of 17 overs. At the end of 17 overs, Mahaiko, after being asked to take first strike, are 77 for 3. So good steady over there, and a wicket for Damon Valentine. Left arm spin in his first over, and that will settle police for sure. Mahaiko, they've got a foundation here if they can just build on that. Is what they'd be saying to themselves, and more importantly, at least play out these remaining 13 overs and see what they get. That ball ill-directed there by Barnard down the leg side. Took Fane on the pad, but well down leg side. He's in again to Fane, that tossed up high, slow out of the blocks is Christopher, but he makes his ground. Fane was interested in a single, and he gets it, so the score moves up to 78 for 3 in over number 18. Field swaps around for the right-handed Christopher. Slip comes into play. Left-handed Barnard will be coming round the wicket to the right-handed Christopher. In fact, they got 2 slips in now for Christopher, who again is caught in 2 minds whether to play forward or back. Barnard again into Christopher, and that one is toe, takes the toe end of the bat, falls into no man's land on the offside. He's doesn't look himself though, does Christopher today, as Fane comes up and has a little word with him. Just try and put bat on ball, keep the ball on the ground, just keep knocking it round. Allow me to do the majority of the scoring, but at the moment he's having trouble doing that. Again, a big appeal for LBW, but I think there might have been a bit of bat involved in that. No, he's called leg bias, Padgett, but he might have thought it was heading down leg. So one more to the total. It takes the total up to 79 for 3. We're in over number 18. It's the left-handed Fane comes back into strike. He's been there since the start. Ridden his luck. Now we've got a straight 2 short mid wickets now. One a bit closer, a bit straighter in, looks like Africa. Standing on the return crease at the non-striker's end. And they're bringing the sweeper off the boundary on the offside. In a little, there's a full toss, straight back to the bowler though. He missed out there. Opportunity did Fane to complete the over. So at the end of over number 18, Mahaiko are 79 for 3. That means they got 12 overs left. 79 for 3. Might be time for Fane, who's been there since the first ball. He opened the innings for Mahaiko today. Might be time for him to start turning it up a notch. Christopher looks all over the place since he's come in. We'll see how he goes this time to the left-handed Valentine, who's got 2 slips, and that is a better forward defensive shot there by Christopher. So 79 for 3. We're in over number 19. Of course, the match reduced to 30 overs aside. Valentine in again and back, and again trying to cut a ball that's far too close to him. Luckily for him, misses his off peg, flies through to Muralin, no run. Valentine in again, quicker, flatter, gets bat on it this time. It can't penetrate the offside field as Nichols does the field in there at backward point. And there is no run. Valentine looking for his 2nd wicket into Christopher, and again he's back, he's out. This time the umpire gives the decision. Moreland was very, very confident. Christopher's not so sure, but he hasn't been so sure since he went out there. He has to walk. And Mahaiko lose their 4th wicket. He kept backing away, trying to give himself room to cut. That one once again was too close to cut. Took the edge. Moreland made no mistake. Mahaiko lose their 4th in over number 19 with the score on 79. So 79 for 4. Police just edging their way back on top in this all-important semi-final contest. I'm just trying to pick up that. What number is that walking out? Number 2. So the new incoming batsman will be Camille Atil. And Atil will join Fane out there, who's holding the Mahaiko innings together. How much is Fane, by the way?
28.
He's on 28. He's been there since the inception of this innings. Opening the batting for Mahaiko, who are down to 10 men today, and that's why we had the delayed start. This all-important semi-final clash with the dominant police force. And Valentine is going to continue with the two slips, bowling to Asil. And Asil again, late in moving, the feet's not going anywhere. Just jammed down on that, nearly French cut it back onto his stumps, but survives. I tell you, these Mahaiko boys keep it interesting though, Mark. Police sense something here. The field all around the bat really, and again no foot movement whatsoever, just fishing at that, but survives. So the end of another successful Valentine over. He's picked up 2 wickets in 2 overs, in his first 2 overs, and after 19 overs Mahaiko are 79 for 4. So 79 for 4, 11 overs remaining. As I say, priority number 1 is to bat these 11 overs. Number 2 is to see how many they can get. How many will they need against this dominant police force? At the moment, they started taking their chances. Police made the pendulum swing their way. So 79 for 4 at the beginning of the 20th over, which will be bowled by Barnard, and he's into Fane, and Fane is forward back and again peeling off the outside edge. No chance there for Moorland as it runs up towards the third man boundary, and again no effort whatsoever in the run in between the wickets, and that is disappointing to see. There was definitely 3 on there. It rolled 3/4 of the way to the field, and we know that police is a big ground, but they only strolled the 2. So 2 more to Fane. Score moves up to 81 for 2 in the 20th. And that one's chipped into, and now they look for the second, and trouble. Very, very poor communication, very, very poor running. There should have been 3 off that previous delivery, which would have meant that the incoming batsman Atul would have been on strike to face that delivery. That delivery was just chipped off the inner portion of the bat into the mid-wicket region by Fane, and for some inexplicit reason he called for 2 when the fielder, who was only about 30 yards away or less, 20 yards away, had the ball in his hand, simply tossed it back to the non-striker's end. Atul has run out. Mahaiko lose their 5th, and it is falling apart. 81 for 5 in the 20th over. They'll be disappointed with that, for sure. I think they were still discussing the 3rd run that they should have taken off the previous delivery. Number 11 strolls to the crease, Michael Cornelius. So Cornelius will join Fane, and Fane will be disappointed that he basically run out his partner. Suicidal 2nd run there. But he is holding the innings together, so he has to tell himself to regroup, refocus, and try and get as many on the board as he can, because he is definitely the backbone for what Mahaiko seem to have left in the shed. But at 81 for 5, it didn't look too bad when they were 70 odd for 2, but now 81 for 5, they're in trouble. No doubt about that. As the scorers are already celebrating, and we haven't even completed the first innings, ladies. It's the confidence, the confidence. They've just growing and growing this year in confidence, and why shouldn't they? They've been belting everybody so far. Fane will be on strike as Barnard will continue. Fane have to start putting his foot down. Not a chance of a stumping again. Went right through him as he danced down the pitch to a delivery pitched down leg side. Couldn't collected was Captain Merlin, and they take 2 leg byes. So another chance goes a begging. Imagine if this police outfit were fielding on top of their game, Mark Charles. We'd be the game be home and hosed, done and dusted by now. Nevertheless, 83 for 5. We're in over number 20. It's 20 of 30 overs aside. Imagine Barnard in again, and this one to Nichols, and even Nichols can't drop that. Judged it well. He only had to stride in a couple of yards. Miss hit there by Frayne. He knew he had to get on with it. He'd been a set batsman. He'd been there since the start of the Mahaiko innings. He took his chances, but played well for 20 odd? 30. So he's out. Fane caught, Nichols bowled, Barnard for 30. Mahaiko lose their 6th. They are 83 for 6, and we're in over number 20 as number 5, Akil Rawlins strides to the crease, young man, to join Cornel Attle. So it will be no, Michael Cornelius is the not-out batsman. Sorry, Michael Cornelius is the not-out batsman. He will be joined by Rawlins, Akil Rawlins, and Mahaiko. They need a partnership. They need a partnership desperately now. They've lost 4 wickets for about 15 in the last few overs. And that's certainly put the ascendancy right in the hands of this police outfit, who are now bringing every body around the bat by the look of it. Persistent with just the one slip though by the look of it. They got a short mid-wicket, and they got short extra cover on the square, who's adjacent to the non-striker at the pop-in crease on the non-striker's end, and a short extra cover in the more orthodox position. But it'll be Barnard into the left-handed Attil, who takes a swipe at that. But just peels off the bottom edge of the bat all along the ground to short mid-wicket, and there is no run. No, Rawlins, sorry. Rawlins is the new batsman. Number 5, yeah. And to that, Rawlins just plays it out onto the offside, no run. These two at the crease, the problem for Mahaiko, don't look like they're going to hang around too long. So they'll be hoping that they get a few lusty blows in before they depart. But of course, against this police outfit, easier said than done. But we've had 20 overs nevertheless, and at the end of 20 overs, Mahaiko are 83 for 6. That's after being sent in by police. And just a reminder, due to a delayed start, it's 30 overs per side. So they got 10 overs to try and muster up a challenging score here as Valentine continues, and that has basically split the two slips fielders, and they're looking for 2 again. Poor communication, but this time they get the 2. I don't think Cornelius. I think that was Cornelius that hit that, no? Yeah, Cornelius 2, not Rawlins. Cornelius is on strike, yeah. And to this ball, he's forward in defense, pushing it up on the offside, and there is no run. Valentine bowling a very good spell here from the Factory Road end. 2 slips into Cornelius, who's trying to force that back past the bowler. And there is no run. So Police really taking the ascendancy in this semi-final match as Valentine into a peel foul BW, but it looked like it was going down leg as Cornelius tried to turn that into the onside. Took him on the pad, but not out, says the umpire. We're basically directly behind the stumps here, so you get a fair indication of whether it's adjacent or not. Quicker, flatter, straight through to Muralin. 2 slips, short extra cover, short mid-wicket. He's catching fielders. Valentine, again, short, flat, forced into the cover region. There's no run, and that brings over number 21 to an end. So after 21 overs, Mahaiko are 85 for 6. 85 for 6 after 21 overs. They have 9 overs remaining. And they've got Michael Cornelius and Akil Rollins at the crease. We're looking to force the issue, but spin bowling options, and Police have got many, as it looks like Africa is going to come on the ball now. From this, the commentary box end. Proving very difficult to get away or even get on top of. They haven't, they've had the chance a couple of times, Mahaiko, to build a partnership, but they haven't really been able to do so far. Africa will be bowling to Rollins. And this Rollins is across and pulling that into mid-wicket. Again, there was hesitation, miscommunication, but a fumble there at mid-wicket allowed the single. So 1 more to the total, 84. 86 for 6, and we're in over number 22. Africa. And swinging right across. That delivery was Cornelius. Doesn't make contact. So these two, obviously not accomplished batsmen. Their intentions are clear. Can they get them away? That one is... should run away, this one, yes, into the boundary for 4. So Cornelius gets one away, backward of square through the onside. Takes the score up to 90. 90 for 6 in over number 22. So much needed boundary there by Mahaiko. Isn't exactly out of the middle of the bat, but Cornelius will take it. Nevertheless, a short backward square leg is all he had to beat, and he tries to repeat the shot, but that actually, Africa got a bit of bounce out of that. It struck Cornelius the upper part of the body. He's fine, of course, as the... but 2, and again he tries to repeat the shot, down on one knee this time. Can't make contact. You got a forward square leg and a backward square leg. Forward square leg is basically on the boundary. The backward square leg is just outside the 30-yard circle. It seems cow corner is the only shot Cornelius knows. Although forward defensive there went straight through him. Lucky to survive that delivery by Africa to complete the over. So after 22 overs, Mahaiko are 90 for 6. 8 overs to go here in this ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson first semi-final at the Police Recreation Grounds on a beautiful sunny afternoon here in Antigua and Barbuda. And that's after Police won the toss and put Mahaiko in. They've reached 90 for 6 in a match that's been reduced to 30 overs a side. So they've got 8 more overs to try and put something challenging on this all-conquering Police unit to chase down in the second half of this semi-final. But at the moment, Damon Valentine will be bowling to Rollins. No, it's Cornelius. Rollins. Roll, and he's hit that firmly through the mid-wicket region in the air, but quite safe. Takes a single, moves the score up to 91 for 6. We're in over number 23. Cornelius back on strike. Valentine still persisting with the 2 slips. Cornelius look through a mid-wicket again. This one flatter, quicker, outside off. Valentine into Cornelius, and Cornelius again tries to hoik this through the mid-wicket region. Trickles off the bottom edge of the bat along the ground, and no run. So 91 for 6, we're in over number 23. Valentine in again to Cornelius, and Cornelius forward in defence into the offside, no run. Valentine bowling, very good speller bowling here this afternoon for this Police team. In again, and that one trying to cut that back with a point. Can't beat Nichols in that position. There is no run. So just 1 from the over so far. Valentine looking to keep things tight, and that one again off straight back to the bowler. So good over there by Valentine, just the one off it. And at the end of over number 23, Mahaiko are 91 for 6. So these two, if they can, they'll be looking to get on with it here in the last few overs. Of course, the problem is that they're 6 down and they'll be batting 1 short because they only got 10 players. That will be in the back of their mind, but you take what you get at this stage of proceedings as Africa will continue to Rollins, and that one's tossed up high, and Rollins tries to turn it round. Does he want the run? Now they could have taken 2 there very, very comfortably. I think it missed everything. Yes, it's called wide as he looked to turn it around the corner on the onside. It missed everything, including Muralin, and it ran 3/4 of the way to the boundary, but Rollins was ball watching, not listening to his partner, so they ended up just taking 1 extra, but 2 more to the total. 93 for 6, we're in over number 24. Africa into a forward defensive Cornelius, who plays that well. He looks like a batsman when he's in defense, but every time he goes for a shot, looks like he's only got 1 shot in his repertoire. Africa in again, and tossed up. Forward comes Cornelius, and there is no run. So they're keeping them well and truly in check here, our Police, and that one's tossed even higher and hit straight to Nichols, who makes no mistake. Good bowling, good intelligent bowling there by Africa. Tossing her up. Each delivery just a little higher. He knew Cornelius would come after him. He likes or favours the shot through the mid-wicket region. That one, he could only hit as far as mid-on. Nichols, who's just inside the circle there, takes the catch comfortably. Cornelius goes, Mahaiko lose their 7th. We're in over number 24. And the score is 93-7. So police doing it on the bit at the moment. Of course, as I say, we had a delayed start, so 30 overs aside. Mahaiko trying to field a team, and in the end they ended up with just 10 players, so they will bat one short. So being 7 down, batting one short, and just 93 on the board, you'd guess that it may not be enough, but cricket is a funny game. And police, they might lose their concentration, like they didn't seem to have their concentration early with those few chances going down, although I'm getting dirty looks by the scorers here. I can only call what I see. And what I see is not worth commenting on. Nevertheless, did we see who is come out now? You know, we called Rawlins for number 2, right? No, sorry, Atil for number 2. But Atil, it looks like here, Mark, Atil was number 7, and Tavis Austin was number 2. So we might want to make that adjustment. You see that? That's a 7. So number 2 was Tavis Austin, which means he batted and not. So Austin batted and not Atil. In the scorebook. Sorry about that. We're just getting the scorecard correct. There's Africa tosses it up again and just beats the new batsman, who number 3. Okay, so that is Giovanni Thomas is the new batsman. He's joined Akil Rawlins at the crease. Africa has completed his over, so at the end of 24 overs. Okay, so at the end of 24 overs, Mahaiko are 93 for 7. And Valentine will continue from the Factory Road end. He's into Rawlins, and that goes right through him, through Moreland, down to the rope for 4 byes. 4 welcome byes there for Mahaiko. Quicker delivery by Valentine. Full swing on the bat by Rawlins, didn't make contact, blindsided Moreland as the ball was travelling down the leg side, and beats the fielders into the rope for 4. So the score goes up to 97 for 7. Mahaiko 97 for 7. We're in over number 25. Of course, match reduced to 30 overs aside. So we're inside the final 5 overs of the Mahaiko innings. Valentine in again, and that one's hit firmly through the mid-wicket region by Rawlins for 1. Mahaiko 98 for 7 in over number 25. And it brings Thomas into strike, right-handed Thomas. And that one attempted cuts, but just rolls out to Nichols at backward point, and there is no run. So 98 for 7. Valentine into Thomas, and Thomas again, lack of foot movement, almost cramps himself. Gets it out onto the offside, but can't penetrate the field. No run. Valentine's ball very well today, very economical. Picked up a couple of wickets also, and again another dot ball. It's not what Mahaiko need at this stage. Yet to pass 100, and remaining deliveries are running out here. Bit more air there by Valentine, but can't entice Giovanni Thomas into a big stroke. He just knocks it back to him to complete the over. So after 26 overs, 25 overs, I beg your pardon. Yes, 25 overs, Mahaiko are 98 for 7. So at 98 for 7, and remembering they're playing a batsman short, so with 5 overs to go, they'd want to at least bat out these 5 overs if they can, to give themselves some sort of a chance to post something that you never know may be challenging, may prove to be challenging for Police, as Africa continues to the left-handed Rollins, who strums that straight to Nichols again, and Nichols makes no mistake once again. Who said he can't field? He's taken 3 catches today. He may have escorted 3 or 2? 3, I think. 3. He may have escorted one to the boundary mark, but he's taken 3 very good catches, and he'll be telling the team, what happened to the rest of you? If I can catch him, it can't be any trouble with the lights. And look at this poor little boy, having been sent out here with the pads too big for him. What number's that now? That's Atul. That's right. Okay, so now it's Atul. Kanil Atul is striding to the crease. And that was Rollins. Right, so Rollins is gone. Mahaiko have lost their 8th, so they're down to their last pair. The score is 97 still? 98. So 98 for 8, and we're in over number 26. But great to see the youngster out there. Let's see what he can do. That, of course, is Kanil Atul, who we thought was batting earlier, but the earlier batsman was Tavis Austin. So 98 for 8, Mahaiko. They're falling apart here, really, because they were 70 odd for 2, now 98 for 8 with the last pair at the wicket. And Police continue to dominate the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. Reduced to 30 overs aside today because of a delayed start as Africa into Atil, and Atil is beaten outside the off stump. It might be just nothing against the batsman. It's terrific to see the youngster out there, but he's obviously in a different league, so Africa might do himself justice here of just simply bowling stump to stump. But no, he couldn't have got that much wider. He nearly landed off the pitch as the being invaded by a herd of goats. Africa into the young Atil, and that takes the bottom edge. Flies past the stumps, but no harm done, no run. Score remains 98 for 8 in over number 26. Sorry, 99 for 8. And again, now this makes absolutely no sense to me, though. Mark Charles. Why is he bowling so wide when the poor youngster can hardly lift the blade off the ground? And again, outside off stump. So, over completed. We've had 26 overs here in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson semi-final between Police and Mahaiko. And Mahaiko, after being asked to bat first in a match reduced to 30 overs aside, 99 for 8 after 26 overs. So 4 overs to go, but of course bearing in mind that this is the last pair for Mahaiko, so Police just need the 1 wicket to wrap up this innings. And Valentine will continue, and he's into Thomas, and Thomas just slaps that into the offside, and there is no run. Mahaiko, of course, doing well to honor their obligation of fielding a team here this afternoon. You can see that a couple of these players that are batting down the order, not necessarily up to this standard as yet, and that's simply because of experience and age. Very young boys, but that was very nicely played. Back up past the bowler by Thomas, sprints through for a single, and 100 comes up for Mahaiko. So they're 100 for 8 in over number 27, and that brings Atul on strike. Valentine into him now, and well, you see, I hope Africa's watching. At least that was directed at the stumps, but he got bat on ball. So you need. Neil Atul faces Valentine, and again it's bat on ball, knocks it straight back to the bowler. No run. Valentine doing the right thing though, keeping it straight, but good defense by the youngster. Completes the over. So after 27 overs, Mahaiko are 100 for 8. 3 more overs to go, and the little boys are doing well. Unfortunately, Mahaiko just haven't been able to string any worthy partnerships together here this afternoon against this strong Police outfit. Hence why they're in a spot of bother at just 100 on the board. And the last pair at the crease as Africa continues, and that one stroked up to a mid-off by Thomas, and there is no run. Africa in again, flatter, straighter, not out, going down leg, wrapped him on the pad, but going down leg. That is the idea though, Africa. Ball wicket to wicket, straight as you can. No, he's tossed it up and catch. Well, there you go. What would Terry Laraji know is what Africa would say, Mark Charles, as he tossed it up, and a simple catch taken by Merlin. It just lobbed up. He ran round from behind the stumps, took the easiest of catches to complete the Mahaiko innings. So they've been bowled out here in the 28th over for exactly 100. Yes, exactly 100. So Mahaiko, after being asked to bat in a game reduced to 30 overs aside after a delayed start, and they have been knocked over by a very strong Police unit this afternoon for exactly 100 in over number 28. So Police will be looking for 101 for victory. And we'll have all the action for you in this ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson first semi-final between Police and Mahaiko. And I can tell you that Mahaiko are all out in the 28th over for exactly 100, which means police will be chasing 101 for victory and a place in the final of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. And of course you can follow us on CSN, which is Community Sports Network, for all your latest live local sporting action. And that comes to you on CTV Channel 8. And of course all the Parish League platforms of Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. And we'd just like to proudly big up our fantastic major sponsors and ACB Caribbean Bank, over 43 years of constant sponsorship of this wonderful Parish League. I will take a break and we'll be back in a few minutes with the start of the police chase. They need 101 for victory in the semi-final against Mahaiko.
Back is really responding. So if the score moves on now to 72, 4-1. Police chasing 168 for victory. Now the bowling change to Amos. Field is a four corner, a long one now, and one of the Royal at the fence also. Joel Andrew, and then come point to the front tournament. Amos into my league. One is right up like this. Doesn't even forward. Just stay there in the crease and put the back there. Now my sidekick is here. And so you'll hear more of the sidekick vocal because of time.
Good afternoon, videos. Good afternoon to all of our viewers and listeners. Good to meet the house up there. Yeah, had a long day, man. Really. With our radio, but nevertheless, good to be at the police station.
Police in pursuit of 168 is what is defended, but King from the 26 get in 208, they are 42 in pursuit of 208 victory. As Willie Key, they got 131, and Igor got 53. Willie Key. Yeah. And so they were 51 for 1 on 10.4. Yeah.
Much better time at the games here than what we saw last time. That is Amos as he continues on the stand there. I think he's coming into Gerald. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's quite way over the
And that's 50 for Malik. Yes, 50. Yes.
That was fighted up there by Amos, and there, Gerald didn't need any other invitation. He went into that and he won up that over 5 minutes 55.
That was huge.
Yeah, that was
Really huge.
That was a 6 minutes.
Really huge. Got in the whole corner region. Really huge.
Not often you see Amos being held up like that. Doesn't look very penetrative, but I'm telling you, very effective with a real nice tight line and then get that ball back on the and he just deals a lot with drift and guide and you really see what what will be the reply here? Slow and not really doing his eyes on the ball. It's a good batting here by Malik, not looking to club everything, but then saying all of his merit. England, we have a lot of scores coming in. England 91 for 6, 91 for 6, so West Indies looking pretty good. So what was our lead? About 94?
93
93, so, and they're 94 now?
for 6. 97 for 6.
So they're about, what,
4 runs.
3 for 6. 4 for 6. But here's Amos now, into the left-handed. Oh, that was close.
What are the keeper?
That's it on, just missing the off stump by Whisker, keeping low a bit. And the batsman there. Valentine, yes. I think he got some runs the other day last week.
I can't hear you.
Around the wicket, Valentine. Again, beat outside the off stump. So obviously Valentine has no clue what's happening there. And Amos has to be covered for that big 6, coming back pretty strong there. But police would be good, not losing any wicket there. And so at the end of the over, the score moves up to 81 for 1. Over number 14. And really just lovely standing here, top of the police ground, just looking at the vehicles going up and down the Factory Road area. So after pretty good game.
Very good game. I see Nicholas in his pads. I don't know if policemen want to give him some redemption, to give him a strike mark, after the first game, and after cut the scores again. So, I don't know. They're looking to have some mercy on him.
They just might.
Careera, Valentine.
So you pass, right? Pass the country, please. Then now, here's where you make that right. You don't go over here. You have the front. church, you know, the church of the hill. You still continue, you just drive. Take all of this driving into consideration. Drive road. Yeah. So you still continue. You remember this Anglican church here? Go to the village. Come around. You know, this is you look over and you see the beat dockyard and there.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so you continue driving. Then now, when you reach here now, right, in the church, it's corner, you make the left, right, and if you go around, so this left here, then this left, you go around the circle, that's where you drive into. That's a thing. So, you know, we look at all that. Right, so you don't drive. That's the road that you go to have, you know. So when you drive inside, just drive. Well, what time you leaving, Tom? 12 is good.
Yeah, I was going to say about 12.
Yeah. Because I can leave town 12:15 by Chase, pick up the umpire. Pick him up at 4:30, go by Chase, pick up the umpire, and then drive. If you get caught, just go on your Google map.
Yeah.
And I'll send you our
Alright.
10 minutes up here.
You see, to me, that's never gonna work. Because I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop things like what happened in high scoring games. They're trying to turn those into to be more aggressive. But England will always remain with that mindset. Save the match before you look to win it. And you're gonna have a hell of a problem trying to drag that out.
What have they decided the next captain?
Yeah, they gave it to Stoke. Yeah, they gave it to Stoke. And immediately.
But remember Ben Stokes wasn't captain of his county?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I saw the game when he decided when he quit playing county cricket. I was watching the game.
Oh.
Here what happened. They were playing I think I was watching it live. I was watching it. He appealed for an LBW and he was ranting and raving and going on. And he was bored. The umpire said nothing. Then Peter McCartney and the umpire said nothing. And then he got a catch to out the same man and he dropped the catch. Then the man drive the body, drive the body in the street, he was ready again. And that was turning distracted.
Right. Yeah, because he wears his emotion on his sleeve, you know. you know, I never used to like him when he first started because I thought he was being aggressive towards the opposition. But the more I watch him, I see towards himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he get very down on himself.
He and what he named the West Indies captain.
Welcome back to the Police Recreation Grounds for this semi-final clash in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. Match reduced to 30 overs aside this afternoon due to a delayed start. And of course, it's between home team Police and Mahaiko. And I can tell you that if you missed the first innings, Police won the toss and elected to send Mahaiko in. Struggling to field the team today, but eventually they got 10 players, so they are playing one player short. That they were bowled out for exactly 100 in the 28th over. So Mahaiko all out for 100, and Police now are just about to commence their innings, looking for 101 to win the match. And the openers for Police, Jaron Jones and Damon Valentine, who have been in fine form so far in this competition, putting on some very important partnerships. And opening the bowling for Mahaiko, if I can just... What number is that? Number 4. And opening the bowling is Amali Hallinger. And Hallinger is into Jones. And Jones strokes that to mid-on. And the young fielder there has fumbled. And they comfortably come back for 3. So not a good start in the field there for Mahaiko. Of course, Police had their fair share of troubles in the field also earlier today, dropping a few catches. It could have seen them chasing a lot less than the 100 that they are chasing. But they're underway. They're 3 without loss. Jerome Jones getting 3 off that delivery. So the left-handed Valentine will be on strike to Hallinger, who's coming around the wicket. He's got a slip and a gully, and he's just halted in his run-up as the fielders just getting into position here at Police Recreation Grounds. Hallinger into Valentine, and that one wide outside the off stump and signalled wide by the umpire. 1 more to the total, so we're in the first over. 101 required for victory for Police. They are 4 without loss. Looking to reach another final for the season. Of course, they won the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Dave Joseph competition. Looking to add the Sir Richie Richardson competition to their trophy cabinet, as that one's turned nicely behind square. Long chase for the fields, and they pick up another 3. So confident start here, as you would expect, by Police. Score moves on to 7 without loss as Hallinger looks to come back over the wicket to the right-handed Jaron Jones. Just getting his field in position. He's got a slip, a gully, a backward point, cover, mid-off, and third man on the offside, driven firmly by Jones, and beats the extra cover fieldsman. Mid-off comes round, does the fielding. 1 more to the score. Score moves up to 8 without loss. I'll just tell you about Jaron Jones before this innings. After this delivery from Hallinger into Valentine, that beats him. Fuller delivery. Went under the blade of the bats through to the keeper, and there is no run. Jaron Jones has scored 109 at 36.3 with 150 prior to this innings, and his partner Damon Valentine scored 111 in the competition before this innings at 27 and a half. So as I said, they are in form. Wide ball delivered by Hallinger. So another one to the total, goes up to 10. 9. 9 without loss. We're still in the first over of this police run chase, requiring 101 for victory. 9 without loss. Hallinger around the wicket to the left-handed Valentine. Beats him again with a fuller delivery. Is appealed for caught behind, but I believe that was a bump ball, as the umpire is showing no interest. And the young mid-on fielder there is actually pleading with the umpire, who's still showing no interest. Definitely a bump ball through to the keeper. They certainly keep us entertained, though, these Mahaiko boys. Overcast conditions as the sun going down in the west here in Antigua, just behind the clouds at the moment. Valentine again, troubled by a good delivery by Hallinger, coming back into him from outside off. Cramped him up, takes the bottom portion of the bats. On the bounce to Gully to complete the over. So after 1 over, Police requiring 101 for victory and 9 without loss. So good positive start there by the Police opening batsmen, who have both got a promotion actually today to open in Valentine and Jones. As I say, they have been in good nick. One averaging about 35 and the other one just over 27 in the competition thus far. Both scored over 100 runs in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. And the bowler from the Factory Road end will be, as soon as he turns around we can see his number. Number 14. Joseph into Jones, and that one again almost sneaks through the defensive Jones this time, catching the inner part or the under edge of the bat. It just bounced harmlessly behind him, nowhere near his stumps. Joseph showing a bit of medium pace here. That one ill-directed down the leg side. Called wide by the umpire. Score moves up by 1, so Police 10 without loss. We're in over number 2. Earlier, Mahaiko were dismissed for exactly 100 in the 28th over in a match that's been reduced to 30 overs aside due to a delayed start. Joseph coming in from the Factory Road end. He's slip in place as Jones again ill-directed down the leg side, clipped off his toes. No problem there whatsoever for Jones, and that will be 4. So the first boundary to Jones, first boundary of the Police innings, moves them up to 14. 14 without loss in over number 2. Striving, you feel, for a bit of extra pace is the young Joseph. Just losing a bit of control. A couple of deliveries down the leg side so far. One called a wide and that one clipped nicely to fine leg for 4 by Jerron Jones. Ian Tittle just asking the bowler if he wants any adjustments in the field. So the sun returns here at Police Recreation Grounds. Joseph in now to Jones, and that's a very good delivery. Kept the batsman honest, forward in defence. Can only play it back to the bowler. Does his own fielding. Hunting wickets, and wickets in clusters here will be Mahaiko. The only way you feel they could defend 100 off 30 overs. That one again rising just outside the off stump. Good line, good length. Jones can only defend it into the offside, and there's no run. Lovely, pleasant conditions for cricket this afternoon here in Antigua. It's Joseph in again to Jones, and again went for the extra pace. And again squirts it down the leg side. Another wide. The score goes up by 1. 15 without loss. We're in the second over. Police requiring 101 for victory and a place in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson final. Of course, the second semi-final will be played tomorrow in Freetown. It will be between Freetown and Newfield as Joseph wraps Jones on the pad. But again, the ball heading down leg side. Half a shout, but not out, says the umpire. Score remains on 15 without loss. Desperate for a couple of early wickets here. Mahaiko get themselves back into this match as Joseph just losing his run up there. Dead ball called by the umpire. Joseph again runs towards us, and that one again bang on target. Defended back up the pitch by Jones to complete the over. So after 2 overs, Police requiring 101 for victory, 15 without loss. A steady start here by the Police openers in John Jones and Damon Valentine. As we said, 2 of the informed batsmen in this Police outfit. Of course, they're cock-a-hoop and playing some very good cricket, and as they'll tell you, it's all what they do on the training field that breeds the success on a match day. And this one attempted cut just rolls past the slip fielder by Valentine. He picks up 1. Score moves on to 16 without loss. It's Hallinger bowling his second over. He'll come back over the wicket now that the right-handed Jones is on strike. Field just swapping over. He's persisting with a slip. They know they need wickets. So that is the right idea. And Hallinger in again. It's time to Jones, and that's short, wide, beautifully played by Jones. Cracked that through the cover region into the boundary. 4 more. He looks in good nick. That was a pretty average delivery there by Hallinger. Needs to be a lot tighter into that off stump or 4th line. On that occasion, 2 short, 2 wide given the treatment. Score moves up to 19. 19 without loss in the over number 3. 20 without loss in over number 3 as Hallinger in again. This one heading down leg as it wraps Jones on the pad. Nice stroll through for a comfortable leg by, taking the score up to 21 without loss. Both these opening bowlers in Joseph and Hallinger for Mahaiko just straying in line. The left and right handed combination of the Police openers. He's gone back over the wicket. Gone back around the wicket to Valentine. Wide again outside off stump, signalled by the umpire. Score goes on to 22 without loss. We're in the third over. Of course, Police requiring 101 for victory after knocking, more or less say, a depleted Mahaiko, playing 10 men today. Rolled over for 100 in the 28th over of a match that's been reduced to 30 overs aside. There's Hellinger around the wicket again to Valentine, and that's cut beautifully between gully and backward point, down to the boundary, into the rope. 4 more to Police, first boundary for Valentine, and the score moves up to 26 without loss in over number 3. And so far the Police doing it on a bit, not looking in any trouble whatsoever. Of course, they got all the time in the world. So Mahaiko, Ian Tickle, these a young team out there. You know they won't give up as they look for early breakthroughs. But in the meantime, they need to keep it tight, and unfortunately both these bowlers, as I say, struggle with their lines and lengths, bowling to the left hand, right hand combination of the Police openers. So they've been on all over the shop, bowling on both sides of the wicket and leaking runs so far as Hallinger around the wicket again to Valentine, and Valentine played that late, coming round, does well on the third man boundary to stick a boot out, restrict the scoring to 2. So 2 more to Valentine. Score moves up to 28 without loss in over number 3. So Ian Tittle won't be happy with the amount of runs being leaked, but is still persistent, and another wide there by Hallinger. He might even be better off staying over the wicket to the left-hander, and these deliveries are going to go across the left-handed Valentine with the slip in place. At the moment, coming around the wicket, he got a couple of deliveries in his first over that darted back in and troubled Valentine a little bit, but the majority of deliveries have been very wide outside the off stump and being called by the umpire as a young toddler has just wandered onto the field. So we've got a delay in play. We get her safely off the ground. It looks like the young lady belongs to the Police. Is this tactics, is it, ladies? Are you trying to put the opposition off? And that one short and heading down leg side, but Valentine goes back to pull it through the onside, doesn't make contact, brings the over to an end. So after 3 overs in pursuit of 101 for victory, Police are 29 without loss after 3. So little, if any, trouble for Police so far. Mahaiko, they know they need wickets. They'll never be able to defend. They'll never be able to defend just the hundreds. So Tittle's doing the right thing of keeping the slip in place. That's about the only attack, and they're more or less a ring field on both sides of the wicket, as Joseph is into Jones, who just taps that into the mid-wicket region for a comfortable single, takes the score up to 30 without loss. We're in over number 4. As we say, the form that Police have been in all season during the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League, And a depleted team here for Mahaiko this afternoon, which is unfortunate in such a big and important match. So Tittle doing his best to keep them going, but it is an uphill battle as Joseph once again loses his run up from the Factory Road end of the ground. Light clouds covering the sun as getting late in the afternoon here in Antigua, but thankfully weather's more than fine and no immediate chance of any rain as Joseph into Valentine and beats him outside the off stump. Better delivery. And what I like about what Joseph is doing is he's remaining over the wicket to the left-handed batsman, because I feel that Valentine, if he could just pitch the ball on or about middle and up and have the ability to take it away, is where you're going to trouble him, rather than what Hallinger is trying to do, come round the wicket and bring the ball back into him. Joseph again, and this one is pulled nicely through the mid-wicket region by Valentine. It won't have the legs, it shouldn't. No, the fielder was very unlucky. Flicked it back just inside the rope, but unfortunately flicked it into his shin. He carried the ball over the rope. So 4 more to Valentine, 4 more to Police. They move on to 34 without loss. We're in over number 4. Of course, 101 is the target for the Police team, but a good shot there by Valentine. Just picked it up on length and pulled it through the mid-wicket region. Joseph shouldn't be disappointed. He just needs to pitch it up a little closer. And again, too short. Down leg side that time, and with no fine leg. That's 4 more to Valentine. So back-to-back boundaries there for Valentine. Score shoots up to 48. 48 for no wicket. Sorry. 38, sorry. 38 for no wicket, and we're in over number 4. So they're doing it comfortably. Just Joseph just losing a bit of direction and just losing a bit of concentration, really. The last 2 deliveries too short. He was doing a lot better when he was pitching the ball up and looking to carry it away from the left-handed Valentine. Just making adjustments in the field as the gully now goes into a short mid-wicket. The forward square leg goes to a backward square leg, and the third man goes a little squarer as this one scramble a single to Point, who did well, but they beat the return in. So 1 more to Valentine. The score moves up to 39 without loss in over number 4. At the moment, the 2 opening batsmen in Jones and Valentine for Police doing what is required. No pressure on them whatsoever. The bowling has been a little bit too much both sides of the pitch to really put some pressure on these Police batsmen. That one full again and clipped beautifully forward of square. Nice shot that by Jones into the boundary now. 4 runs. So Joseph again just strain with the right hander back on strike, and it was a full delivery, clipped off the toes by Jones, forward of square leg. We'll see how early he picked that delivery up, and that completes the over. So after 4 overs in pursuit of 101 for victory, Police are well on target as they are 43 for no wicket after 4. So excellent start here by the 2 Police batsmen, both of them getting a promotion in the order today to open the innings. But as I was saying earlier, they're both in form. One averaging 35 in the competition, the other one averaging just over 27. Jones, who was averaging 35, he's also scored 1/2 century, which I believe was 60 odd not out actually, that half century. But it will be Hellinger continuing around the wicket to the left-handed Valentine, and that's just played honestly back to the bowler, and there is no run. So persisting with the slippers they need to do, but they need wickets, and they need a cluster of them in a hurry, you would feel. Slip, gully, backward point, extra cover, mid-off. And that one beats Valentine outside the off stump. He's looking to cut that through the point region, doesn't make contact. Mahaiko desperate for a breakthrough or two here. Only able to put 100 on the board. Hellinger, this time he makes contact. Thickish edge flies down to third man, who does well and restricts the score into just one. The score moves up to 44 without loss. We're in over number 5. The target 101. The field swaps over now for the right-handed Jerron Jones. Hellinger will come back over the wicket. And he's up to the wicket now, and Jones looking to drive that, catches the inner portion of the bat, unhappy with himself, felt he missed out on a scoring opportunity there. Fielder, the bowler does his own fielding, and there's no run. Hellinger again into Jones, and Jones is turning that nicely backward up square leg, and he's timed that excellently. That'll go all the way. It does. Hits the rope now. 4 more to Jones. He's looking very good this afternoon. There's a very good hit out for him heading into yet another final by the look of it. The score goes up to 48. 48 without loss, and we're in over number 5. So target being 101. Police are almost halfway home with this opening pair, who look very much in control at the moment. As Hellinger into Jones again, a fuller delivery. Again, Jones late onto it, can only knock it back to the bowler to complete the over. So after 5 overs, Police in pursuit of 101 for victory, are 48 without loss. And they're looking the goods at the moment, as they have done all season thus far. And they're heading straight into yet another final. Of course, who they will meet will be decided tomorrow afternoon. We'll have that match for you on ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League, all the platforms of Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, and of course CSN Community Sports Network, CTV Channel 8, and that will be from 1 p.m. tomorrow when Freetown play host to Newfield. And looks like Tittle himself's gonna have a ball, and at this stage, why not? You never know, with all his experience, he could sneak out a couple here and bring his team right back into the match. But at the moment, Police well and truly in the driver's seat, and they have been since Mahaiko was 70 odd for 2, and then to fall away. Of course, they are playing with a player short today. We must remind our viewers and listeners, and also a bit of a depleted team with the senior players opting out of the match. That brings the younger players in for good experience and a chance for them. It is still a semi-final of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League competition, and that one's played nicely by Valentine, backward of point, who stumbles and allows for a second run. So the 50 comes up for Police. They are 50 without loss in over number 6, and that means they need 51 more for victory, and they've got all but 25 overs to do it in. As Tittle flatter faster, left alone by Valentine outside off, and there is no run. Both these batsmen for Police have looked untroubled thus far. Tittle keeping Valentine honest, who just defends out into the cover region. Tittle again from the Factory Road end. Valentine just getting himself into a bit of bother there, trying to late cut that past the slip fielder. Doesn't make contact. Tittle this time forced into the cover region by Valentine, and there is no run. As you would expect from the very, very experienced Tittle, tight over. Wishing for that breakthrough though. That was quicker, flatter, but Valentine up to the contest. Forward in defence to complete the over. So at the end of over number 6, Police are 50 without loss in pursuit of 101 for victory. So just 51 runs away from achieving that and a place in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson final. And as we were saying earlier, we'll find out tomorrow if Police get through today. We'll find out tomorrow who they will meet, as we look like we've got a change of bowler from the commentary box or pavilion end here at the Police Recreation Grounds. What number is it? See now, my scorer just said can't see the numbers. That's a very good point, because the yellow with white, number 11, Cornelius is on, and he's into Jones. Jones turns that just backward of square for another comfortable single. So they are now halfway home. 51 without loss, 50 required for victory for Police. As Cornelius is going to stay over the wicket. Tall spin bowler, look like an off-break bowler. Maybe bowling to the left-handed Valentine, and Valentine is cracking that through the covers. Lovely stroke. 4 runs. Shot of authority, that one. It was just looped up by Cornelius. No real revs on it. No pace on the delivery either. And down on one knee, stroked it firmly and beautifully through the cover region. Did Valentine for 4. Moves the score up to 55 without loss. And we're in over number 7. So Police really strolling to victory here against this Mahaiko side. Put up a fight, but outplayed by a much more experienced team there. There's half a shout there by Cornelius, but pitched well outside leg. It's just a matter of keeping their concentration, these two openers for Police, you would think. Again, stroked nicely this time up to mid-off by Valentine, and nobody backing up the throw, not the bowler, not the short mid-wicket fielder. So the throw from the mid-off fielder went straight through everybody, and they pick up 2 with that extra run. Cornelius in again to Valentine, and Valentine meets that on the full but can't beat Tittle there at short extra cover, and there's no run. The score remains on 57 for no wicket, and we're in over number 7. Cornelius this time caught in 2 minds that time. Valentine, I think he saw it short, was going to pull it through mid-wicket, Ended up changing his mind, just playing it into the covers where it's fielded, and no run to complete the over. So after 7 overs, Police chasing a target of 101, a 57 without loss, and well on their way to doing that and reaching yet another final in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League for 2022. Looks like Tickle's gonna continue from the factory end. Be bowling to the right-handed Jones. Coming over the wicket, he's got a slip, he's got a short mid-wicket, he's got a short extra cover. Basically the catching fieldsman. They need to go bang, bang, bang here in a hurry. Half a shout he's given him. He wasn't totally committed to the front foot that time, Jones, and the ball skidded on, crashed into his front pad, and the umpire says that is out. So Jones goes LBW to Tittle. Tittle does the job. Kept him quiet in his first over. Now he's picked up a wicket. Is it the start of something for Mahaiko? Police lose their first. They're 57 for 1, and we're in over number 8. And Jones went LBW, bowled Tittle for 23. So he looked very good, Jones, once again today amongst the runs. But he has to go for 23. So 57 for 1, Mahaiko strike. Police lose their first. They're 57 for 1. That makes them just 41, though, away from victory. Target score being 101. And the new batsman is Malik Gerald. Will be joining Damon Valentine at the crease, and he will be on strike. Will be facing Tittle. Tittle just kept the same field. Slip. He's moving you'd still call him a short extra cover. He goes slip, point, short extra cover, mid-off on the offside. And he's got a long on, short mid-wicket, short backward square leg, and a fielder on the deep mid-wicket boundaries. He's into Gerald, and Gerald doesn't normally like hanging around, and he's off the mark with the first delivery he faced with a punch up to long on. So he's underway, and the score moves up by 1 to 58 for 1. We're in over number 7. 8. You're in over number 8? Yeah. So 58 for 1 in over number 8. And just bring the sweeper up off the boundary on the offside into conventional cover position for the left-handed Valentine. A Tittle is around the wicket. Valentine forcing it up to short extra cover. Fielded by the young man there, and there's no run. Tittle doing his job. He just needs some help from the other end. There's wickets required, and plenty of them for Mahaiko if they're going to get out of this one and make the final of the ACB Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. But at this stage, Police well and truly in the driver's seat. Is again defended to short extra cover by Valentine. Score remains on 58. 58 for 1. We're in over number 8. 101 is the target for Police, and that's hoiked over the short mid-wicket by Valentine into the boundary for 4. You see he was just sweating on anything fuller and straighter from Tittle. He got the delivery he was looking for, got it over the short mid-wicket. It was just inside the circle there. 4 more, so the score moves up to 62 for 1 in over number 8. What's that? 39? 39 more required. And that's steered very nicely there by Valentine between cover and backward point. And he picks up 2 more. So well played, Valentine. 6 of the last 2 deliveries there from Tittle. And the score moves on to 64. 64 for 1. We're in over number 8. Target 101 for Police. Tittle around the wicket again to the left-handed Valentine. And again short, and that is cut away by Valentine. Didn't get the timing on it this time, but they've run 2 and the fielder just loping after it. Allows for 3. So 3 more to Valentine in a very productive over. They got, 9 runs off the last 3 deliveries, but a very productive over. Moves the score up to 67. So they got 16 off that over. 67 for 1 after 8 overs. 67 for 1 after 8 overs are Police. Target required 101. So that's 33, 34 more required here. As Cornelius will continue from this, the commentary or pavilion end of the ground at the Police Recreation Grounds. The shadows starting to lengthen, and the odds of Mahaiko winning this starting to lengthen, as that's stroked nicely by Valentine for 2 more through the offside, taking the score up to 69 for 1. We're in over number 9. Cornelius again into the left-handed Valentine, and that one floated up there again and hit firmly to cover, but they run on the shot. No trouble there to take the score to 70 for 1 in over number 9. 31 more required for Police as Malik Gerald comes into strike. It will be the first time he's facing the slow left arm of Cornelius, and that one is hoiked through the mid-wicket region down to the boundary for 4. He never messes around, does Malik Gerald, and if you're going to bowl him floating deliveries like that, he's certainly not going to miss out. I was trying to remain polite, Mark. So the score rockets up to 74 for 1 over number 9 as Police look to close this game out as quickly as possible. They drop the mid-on back to 3/4 of the way to the boundary as Gerald settles again, and this one, whoa, now that one he tried to do the same thing. It was a bit quicker there by Cornelius, took the pads, nearly rolled back onto the stumps. It didn't, beat the keeper. Long chase for the fielder, and they pick up 3 leg byes. So 3 more to the total, taking 77 for 1, and we're in over number 9. So 77, 3, 4, 24 required. Oh, and the scorers are already saying this is an easy game, boy. You best hope they don't go bang, bang, bang. Cornelius into the left-handed Valentine, and that's a beautiful shot. Stroke through the cover, beat the short extra cover. Mid-off inside the circle at no hole. 4 more to Valentine, 4 more to Police. Nichols has either shown his off his muscles or already starting to celebrate. Score goes up to 81. 81 for 1 in the 9th over. 20 more required by this Police outfit. So Valentine really turning it on now after the loss of his opener in Jerron Jones, and this delivery beaten, better delivery there by Cornelius, tighter line and a bit quicker, but Valentine survives. So that brings over number 9 completed. So after 9 overs, Police are 81 for 1, which means they require a further 20 runs for victory in this semi-final and a place in next week's final. They're doing it very comfortably here at their home ground, or on their home ground. As the sun disappears again amongst the fairly light clouds here in Antigua today. We're getting late in the afternoon, of course, so it's looking to set over there in the west. Another good day's cricket. We finally got going. Unfortunate the senior players opted out of this important semi-final clash of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition. But nevertheless, Mahaiko were able to field the side, and they put up a fight with the limited resources that they've had. This Police team, very, very strong and in great form this year. As Malik Gerald charges at Tittle. Doesn't make contact though. If he did, that would have gone out of the ballpark. And to that delivery, just strokes it to the short mid-wicket. And there is no run. Tittle in again. That one's short, and he was onto that in a flash, but just got the bottom edge between his legs. Goes down towards the fine leg boundary, but be hauled back, and they pick up 2. So 2 more to Gerald, 2 more to the total. Total moves up to 83. 83 for 1, and we're in over number 10. 83 for 1. The target is 101. 18 more required as Tittle in again to Gerald, who's just poking that out to backward point, and there is no run. Last bit of sun returns as the shadows lengthen here at the Police Recreation Grounds. Tittle into Gerald, who wants to get after him, and he got contact there, and the spin of the ball has beaten the deep mid-wicket fielder there on the boundary. So 4 more to Gerald, 4 more to Police. They move up to 87 for 1, and you say it's just a matter of time as that tickle over comes to an end. So Police requiring 101 for victory in this semi-final match against Mahaiko, 87 for 1 after 10 overs, which means it's just 14 required, which has made Sergeant Nichols very happy. Would you like to say a few words?
Too easy, too easy.
Too easy, he says. Well, I think it's you know, I think you need to have a talking to that, you know, the poor little school children that they were forced to play, and you've taken full advantage of them. But no, Mahaiko, they've done their best, as I say, with the odds stacked against them. Cornelius is going to continue. He bowling to Valentine, and Valentine poking this out onto the offside, and they pinch a cheeky single. Brings Gerald on strike, and I think Gerald is looking to finish this. He needs 2 hits to finish it this over. 12 runs required. 88 for 1 or 13 required? Is it 88?
Yes, 88.
Yeah, 88 for 1. Target 101. We're in over number 11. Cornelius into Gerald, and Gerald looking to swipe that. Just gets the inner portion of the bat and rolls down to long on for another single. 89 for 1. We're in over number 11.
89.
So 12 more. 12 more required by Police as Cornelius into the left-handed Valentine. That's short. Down leg side, but he missed out. Took him on the thigh pad there. Definitely missed out on a chance. There's nobody in the fine leg region. So any bat on that would have run away. Cornelius into Valentine, and again floated up outside, full pitch delivery outside off, and again gets the treatment by Valentine. That's his third classical stroke through the offside. 4 more to Valentine, 4 more to Police. They move up to 93. 93 for 1. We're in over number 11, and that means they're 2 boundaries away from victory. 8 more required. Chinese still saying too easy, too easy. When are we going to get some competition this season?
I'm trying to figure out the same thing.
Cornelius tries again into Valentine, and this delivery is better length ball and just defended into the offside by Valentine. No run. 93 for 1, 8 required, and that's wide down the leg side. I think it beat everybody, but nevertheless it's going to go for 4 byes. It crosses the rope now. 4 wides. 4 wides. 4 more to Police. They move on to 97. 97 for 1. We're in the 11th over, and they are now just a boundary away, 4 runs away from victory and a place in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League. So Richie Richardson, 5 wides, wasn't it? Yes, well picked up. So that's 99, 98. So they need 3 to win. 98 for 1. We're in over number 11. Cornelius, top of his 2-pace run-up. Spinner into Valentine now, and that's floated again outside off, and they take the single. The big cheers go up for Valentine. He makes his 50, his first one for the competition. Well done, Valentine. That's to go along with the 111 runs he's made in the competition so far. So well battered, Damon Valentine. And that's a big hit by Gerald. 1 bounce over the rope, 4 runs, victory to Police. They've won this quite convincingly by 9 wickets as the scorers go wild. And they've defeated Mahaiko in the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League. So Richie Richardson semi-final, first semi-final this afternoon at Police Recreation Grounds. It's all over as Police finish on 103 for 1 in over number 11, chasing 101 for victory, which means that they have beaten Mahaiko by 9 wickets. Well battered, and player of the match performance there by Damon Valentine, who remains 50 not out. His first 50 of the competition, and Police into yet another final. The unbeaten team this season, and they showed their strength again today in what must be said was a depleted Mahaiko team without their senior players, but nevertheless Police still needed to get the job done, and the job they got it done, and got it done in fine form and fine fashion to reach the final. And the final, we'll see who's going to play the final against Police next week, as tomorrow we're off to Freetown, and it'll be Freetown playing a Newfield in the second semi-final of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League. So Richie Richardson, 35 overs a side competition, and that will be brought to you by Community Sports Network, CNN, CTV Channel 8, and of course Parish League platforms of Facebook, YouTube and Instagram from 1 p.m. tomorrow. That's the second semi-final between Freetown and Newfield, live from 1 p.m. from the Freetown playing field, and that's to see who will join Police in the final of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson competition, as Police in this first semi-final this afternoon have defeated Mahaiko by 9 wickets. Comprehensive victory. Damon Valentine is my man of the match with an unbeaten 50. He's first for the competition, and Police will be looking to back up their Dave Joseph victory with another title to add to their trophy cabinet next week. And as I say, we'll find out tomorrow who they will face between Freetown and Newfield. But until then, I will sign off for this afternoon. Myself, Terry Laraji. We'll just go through the scoreboard. The scorers are finished with it now. And I can tell you that Police won the toss this afternoon, and they decided to insert Mahaiko, and the game was reduced to 30 overs aside due to a delayed start, with Mahaiko unable to field a full complement of players. But Fane, sorry, we're just getting the scores. We're just getting the completed score. These scorers do a wonderful job from Police. So if they ever lose a title, you two should get a title of some sort. Anyway, so Fane was caught off the bowling of Barnard for 30. Joseph was stumped off the bowling of Cornelius for 6. Hallinger was caught off the bowling of Boston for 26. Tittle was bowled by Valentine for 11. Christopher was caught off the bowling of Valentine for 0. Austin was run out for 0. Michael Cornelius was caught off the bowling of Africa for 7. Rollins was caught off the bowling of Africa for 3. And Thomas was caught off the bowling of Africa for 1. Atul remained not out 0. And they were all out. That's Mahaiko, after being asked to bat first. They were all out for exactly 100 in the 28th over. Bowling figures for Police: James Cornelius, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 16. Malik Gerald, 4 overs, no maidens, no wicket for 19. Boston, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 23. Barnard, 6 overs, no maidens, 1 for 17. Demon Valentine, he had a day out with the ball as well. 6 overs, no maidens, 2 for 6. And very well, he supported Linton Africa, who took the last 3 wickets. 3.3 overs, no maidens, 3 for 8. So Mahaiko all out for 100 in the 28th over, which meant Police required 101 for victory and a place in the final. And they did it on the trot. John Jones was LBW to Tittle for 23, and that was the only joy Mahaiko had, as Damon Valentine remained unbeaten on 50, a very, very well played 50 to go along with his 2 for 6. And Malik Gerald finished it off in the end. He was not out 15, and Police finished on 103 for 1 to win by 9 wickets. And as I say, they reached the final now of the ACB Caribbean Bank Parish League Sir Richie Richardson 35 overs competition, and the second semi-final will be played tomorrow at Freetown between the home side Freetown and Newfield. That will be coming to you live on Parish League platforms, Facebook, YouTube and Instagram, and of course CSN Network. That's Community Sports Network for all your live local sporting action. And that's, of course, on CTV Channel 8. So on behalf of Mark Charles and the boys and the scorers and all of you listening, I am Terry Laraji, and be back with the second semi-final tomorrow. Until then, take care and enjoy your evening.